No moika! Hello and thank you for stopping by. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a tour of our family cabin. This cabin is shared by our extended family, and I'll go into the details a little bit later. This cabin has 2 stories, and we're gonna go through the back door because this is the main entrance. When you first go in, this is, I guess you can call this a vestibule. This is where we leave our shoes. Nobody in Finland wears their outdoor shoes inside, so we leave our shoes, our coats, hats, beanies, one out here. And then before we go inside, there is a small bathroom here that I want to show you. This is actually the only bathroom in the cabin. There's also a shower in the sauna area, which I will be showing you in a bit. But this is a very simple bathroom. We've got a shower here, we've got a toilet, and there is a drain in the middle of the room where the water will go into when you take a shower. And then there's a big squeegee here that we use to clean off the water after we take a shower. But nothing fancy about the bathroom. We have a washer here. We don't have a dryer because most Finns don't actually have dryers. They hang dry their clothes. And this big thing here is a water heater. Okay, and now let's head on inside. When you first come in, this area used to be the kitchen. And I think this is an old stove. Yeah, it's still here. We got some closets there. And over there is a new kitchen. I'm not gonna go to that section just yet. That section of the cabin was actually added afterwards. So anything beyond this door is new. But this is a utility closet where we keep our cleaning supplies. I think this door might be original. All right, so we just came from there. Let's make our way over here. This is the living room area. The good thing about sharing a cabin with a large family is that people just bring their old furniture here. So I think the couch came from the great-grandparents' house. And I think my husband used to own that chair. Now it's here. But here's a look at the living room. And then we have a fireplace. And this is a real fireplace, meaning that we use it to keep the cabin warm. It's not just for decorative purposes. And then I'll swing you around. Here's a look outside. And here's our yard. I'll give you an outside tour after we finish with the inside. So this is the other side. Don't mind our stuff. And then this is the first room. So this is the bedroom downstairs. And this is where we would usually stay. So when the great-grandparents bought this cabin, they had 4 sons, and there's 4 rooms in here. So each room would belong to one side of the family. Because we don't live too close to the cabin, we don't come on a regular basis. So whenever we do come, we have to bring everything ourselves. So we have to bring our own sheets, we have to bring our own towels, and our own food as well. So this is kind of like a self-service Airbnb, if you will. Turning you around again, we got a large wardrobe there. And then we also have a stove in our room. We don't use this too much because we do have that up there. So we just kind of keep that on. Okay, now let's come around. Now let's walk on over to the new side of the house, or the cabin. Here we have the kitchen. We have a large freezer here. So whenever people are here and they have extra food, they just put it in the freezer. Pretty much anybody can dig in and help themselves. And a lot of the appliances here are also hand-me-downs. We have a dishwasher and an induction stove from one of my husband's cousins. When she renovated her kitchen, she donated her appliances here. Here's our kitchen. There's the fridge, induction stove, coffee maker, some food, the sink, and we also have kind of like a grill outside as well for the warmer months. And then when we turn around this way, this is the dining room. It's really fun when there are multiple families here, and it just feels very homey. And then when we turn around this way, here's another fireplace that works, that keeps the cabin warm. So we would usually warm up this fireplace as well as the one in the living room to keep the cabin warm in the winter. It does get pretty cold here, and if nobody's staying here for a couple of days, somebody has to come and warm up the cabin so that it's nice and warm. There's a door under the stairs. I've actually never been in here. Ooh, buckets. Buckets for when you go mushroom hunting. Okay, so that was the kitchen. And now we're gonna take a look at the upstairs. Let's turn on some lights. This side of the cabin is entirely new. So everything on this side was what was included when it was first purchased. So this door frame and beyond on this side is new. So the kitchen is new, as well as there's one room up there, but everything over there on the left side was included when it was first purchased. Okay, we've got some narrow stairs up here. A lot of people bring their books. Let's make a right. This is where my husband and my son are sleeping. This is the first bedroom upstairs. Gotta watch your head here. And then I look out the window. I think you can see our neighbors. I'm currently sleeping downstairs with our younger toddler, but in the hallway here, there's another bed here to fit another person and some storage cabinets. And then when we make a left, this is where my father-in-law is staying. Turn some lights. Each bedroom is pretty decent in size. This one has a TV, that's why he likes staying in here. And what else? I don't come in here that much, so I don't really know what to talk about. Here's a look outside this window. You see the lake. Okay, now we'll swing back. There's a mirror here. Hello. Okay, and the final bedroom upstairs is through this door. Oh, this side of the house is cold. I think they keep the door closed so that, because nobody is staying in here, they want to keep the heat retained to that side. So that's why the door was closed. But here we have a bed that fits two, and then there's also additional couch here for an additional person. And a view outside this window is our yard. And that over there is our sauna. Lots of books. And I'm gonna shut this door. Maybe also turn off the hallway light. Okay, I'm gonna shut this door so that we keep the air inside. So we're gonna go downstairs because there's another way to get downstairs from here. Ta-da! Let's turn on some lights. How do you turn on that light over there? Huh. As you can see, I really don't come up here that often, but there's some cool artworks here along the stairway. Okay, so I cannot currently stand up straight. The roof is here. So I'll turn you back around and let's go down the stairs. Steep stairs. Okay. Have a look outside. There's my son playing out there. And then this is the other entrance. Over here we have another fridge. We usually keep drinks in here and extra food that doesn't fit in the big fridge. And then we have like cases of beer and people's rubber boots that they leave here and some seltzer water and more jackets. Now if we open this door here, this will lead you to the living room. And this is the other entrance here. Now I'm going to attempt to explain to you how this cabin is shared within our extended family. I hope you'll stay for the rest of the video because there's a lot more of this property here that I want to show you. We have a sauna, we have an additional detached small cabin outside, as well as a workshop, a shed where we keep all of our chopped wood, another shed for outdoor games and winter games and stuff like that. I'm gonna do a tour of the rest of the property with you after I try to explain this because the stories kind of tie together. All right, so we have the two parents, the original great-grandparents that purchased this property. Don't know what generation they're born in. I think they are from the silent generation, but let's just put them at the top. The great-grandparents had 4 sons, so I'm gonna have a shape to represent each son. Here we have brother number 1, brother number 2, brother number 3, brother number 4. Brother number 1, our side of the family, my husband, myself, my sister-in-law, my sister-in-law's husband. My family, my immediate family, we have 2 kids. My sister-in-law has 3 kids. Brother number 2 has a daughter and she is not married. Brother number 3 has 2 kids. They're both married. The brother does not have kids. The sister has 3 kids. Brother number 4, 2 kids, a boy and a girl. The sister is married and they have 2 kids. The brother, the son, is married, or actually the son was married. He's no longer married, but he has 3 kids. So this is a look at our extended family. And this is 4 families, 3 generations. Now, brother number 4 here, I hope you're still following along. They've inherited his wife's side of the family's cabin. So they've decided to opt out of usage of this cabin. So I'm just going to put them in the basket. And now this is what we're left with. So now we have 3 brothers with their kids and their spouses, except for this one, and then their kids. So this is a lot of people to be sharing one cabin. Now, my sister-in-law's family here, if you're still following along, and their 3 kids, they recently purchased a cabin from her husband's side of the family. So they don't come here by themselves anymore, really, because they have their own cabin to go to. So they don't really come unless we have a gathering here, we have a party here, they still come. But as you can see, this is a lot of people to be sharing this cabin with, which is why there are so many beds here, so that when everybody is here, or when a lot of people are here, everybody fits. Now, out of the 3 brothers, my father-in-law is probably the least handy, but the other 2 brothers, they really build the rest of the structures that I'm going to be showing you outside by themselves. And it's just crazy how skilled they are in carpentry and construction. So let's go on ahead outside and I'll show you the rest of the property. I put on my jacket. I asked my father-in-law how much it costs to rent this place, and he says that for the 3 brothers, the 3 large families, each family pays about $2,500, give or take, for the whole year, which includes, I think, taxes, utilities, maintenance of the place. My son sees me. So yeah, it's not too bad. You have the 3 brothers and then you have their kids and their grandkids. So, but that's about how much it costs. Now, he did mention that the roof is getting a little bit old. It's about 30 or 40 years old. So they're looking to replace the roof soon, and that's going to cost something like 30,000 euros. So that's going to be split between the 3 families. So I just got dressed in the front entrance. Let's head on outside. There's our sauna. It's a cloudy day today. So here's a look at the lake. And then outdoors, my father-in-law is chopping wood over there because he's not too handy with construction. His work here is always chopping wood, chopping down trees and chopping wood for the sauna and for the stoves and stuff. So here's a look at the cabin and the outside of the cabin. And we have a seating area outside and also a flagpole. Whenever there is a holiday here, we put up the Finnish flag. And I'll just walk around so you get a sense of where we started from. This is I call this the back door, but this is where everybody will usually go in. Let's take a walk to the sauna. Here we have a well. And let's go take a peek inside the sauna. So here we have some backup wood, some life jackets. This is the dressing room of the sauna. Let's turn on the light. This is where you would get dressed and undressed for the sauna. Everybody goes to the sauna naked here. Unless you are going to a unisex sauna with both men and women, then people wear swimsuits. But here is the view of the lake. Hello. And when you open this, that's where the main cabin is. Okay. Now we're going to go into the shower area of the sauna. So this sauna is a wood burning sauna. This is a large tub of water. You put firewood at the bottom here, and you light it and you heat up the water in here. And then you mix it with the cold water that you would get from the well or from the pump. There's a water pump here as well. And you mix it to your desired temperature. And this is where you take a shower after you take a sauna. You either just douse yourself with like these little buckets here, or there's this thing here that you can put inside a bucket and turn it on, and then you kind of get a trickle of water coming down so it feels like you're taking a real shower. But it's kind of cool how they have how you do showers in here. And then we have a nice view out this window, and then there's another window here that looks out to the yard. In the summertime, there's different types of berries that grow here, but right now they're resting for the winter. Okay, and then when you go in this door, this is the sauna. Oh, those wood slats are usually here so that nobody slips. That's not usually there, but there's butt pads here that you sit on. There's a nice little light, and it's a nice size sauna in here. There's the furnace. You put firewood in there, you light it up. There's, I think it's rocks inside there, or coal. I'm pretty sure it's rocks. And then when you open the hatch here, it gets really hot, and then you pour water on there and whatnot, and do your saunaing. So yeah, this is the sauna. And here's a window that looks out the yard. All right, now I'm going to show you the lake. Man, this is just so beautiful. I'm going to sit down here. This is where we would sit in between sauna sessions to cool down. Ah, look at that view. So in the summertime, the ladder there will be installed, and there's like a walkway that goes out so that you can go take a dip in the water. They've taken everything out because we're getting ready for the winter. Depending on the weather, I think in January, the water will freeze, and so people can cut a hole in the ice and go ice dipping. And people go ice skating here as well, and they go cross-country skiing. It's really nice all year round. It takes a little bit more effort to warm everything up in the wintertime, but it's still really, really nice. Okay, now let's take a walk down there. There is a cage there that one of the brothers uses to catch fish out in the water. Okay, and then this is one of the newer structures that was recently built. This was built entirely by the two brothers. I think this is a storage space for like boat accessories and stuff. Oh, it's actually pretty empty. Life jackets. Yeah, what did they put in here? Boat stuff, maybe. Some nets. All right. And we have a canoe, we have a rowboat, and this will get pushed out during the summer, and you can go catch fish, you can go on a nice rowing trip. And oh, look, I've never noticed this before. This is for cleaning your fish. I didn't even know this was here. So yes, this is where you clean your fish after catching it. Now let's keep on walking. Here's a look at the sauna. Here's a look at the yard. We're in southern Finland, so we don't really have any northern lights here. But I did come to the sauna one time, and it was raining, and there was a huge rainbow that appeared. And we just happened to be in the water, and it was just so relaxing. Maybe this is why Finland is rated the happiest country in the world. They really know how to do summer cottages, or cottages in general. Now we're gonna head on up. Okay, I went inside to get the keys for the detached cabin, and I asked my father-in-law, and he said that the sauna was actually not built by the brothers, and they hired somebody to build it. Let's take a look at the rest of the property. Let me turn you around. We're gonna walk on up these stairs. Oh, over here in the summertime, we have wild strawberries and wild blueberries here. It's so great. Okie dokie. And then when we turn around, here's a look from up here. Now we're going to have a look over here. So here is my father-in-law's homework of chopping up trees. This whole shed here is full of wood. We put the wet ones, the fresh ones on one side, and then it takes, I don't know how long it takes to dry. There's some more here, some more here. And over here, just gonna walk around the tree. I think this side is the dry side. So this is what we would take for the sauna and for the fireplace. From what I'm told, all of these trees come from our land, so we don't really have to buy any wood. And here you can put up a dart game here as well. Okay, now we're gonna walk on over here. We have some planters here, and I think some of the herbs are still alive. So this is an herb garden, fresh herbs. This is a new addition that's been added recently. It's a little detached cabin that can be used during the summertime. There's no central heating in here, so it's too cold to stay here overnight during the winter. There we go. I think we use it for storage during the winter time. You've got a table here, you've got a TV, and then you have a bunk bed. So you can probably sleep like 2 small kids up there. I mean, as long as they don't fall. And then we also have a mattress down here that somebody can sleep here. Kids and teenagers like to stay in here because they have more privacy. If one of the grandkids invites their friends or something, they like to stay in here. And I think we have our boat stuff in here right now. And this is an umbrella for the picnic table. Yeah, like all those cushions are from my father-in-law's boat. And then what's interesting about Finland is that they're crazy about Donald Duck, which is called Aku Anka. And they have these comic books by Aku Anka that comes in the mail, and there's like so many of them. And I think somebody has turned this into a book. If you look at the side here, it's just like a whole bunch of comic books pieced together. And look at all those comic books. Like this one is from 1992. The cabin is also a good place for people to dump stuff that they can't fit into their house. But here's, I think I already showed you, but yeah, this was built entirely by hand by my father-in-law's brothers. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, let's turn off the light and go outside. Now let's walk on over to the workshop. I'm pretty sure they built this too. I'll double confirm. This thing is massive. I've once taken a peek in here, but I don't really come in here. Here's a look inside. Tools and machines. Turn on some lights. Wait, there we go. Wait for it. Wow. All kinds of tools and supplies. I'm not going to tell you what this is because I don't know what it is. Can you go upstairs? Oh my gosh, you can go upstairs. Let's take a look upstairs. We've got, I think, a table saw. Miter saw, maybe? This is so cool. You can really make anything you want in here as long as you know how. Should we go upstairs? I've never been up here before. Ooh, let's go. Ooh. Storage for wood. Wood planks and stuff. I wonder what they'll build next. Okay, let's head back down. This whole place smells like wood. Pretty cool. Okay, now let's keep walking. Over here, it's really a garage, but nobody parks their car in here. Got a trailer, we've got some snow shovels. This is really used as a shed and toys and stuff. We got shovels on this side, got buckets and stuff, bikes. And then over here, we have some lawn games here. We took out some toys for the kids, some chairs. Oh, it's dark in here. And a ski box for our car, somebody's ski shoes, etc. There's a ladder there, hose. I think we have a little bit more property up here. Let's see if this is where the tree was cut down from. Oh yeah, it is. So this is what's left of it. There's still a little bit more to chop, but it looks like that came from here. And in the fall, in the Finnish forest, there are lots of mushrooms. So you can go out and forage for mushrooms. My father-in-law is actually really good at finding mushrooms. And he always finds buckets and buckets of mushrooms. Ooh. Cool. We're nearing the end of our driveway here. I think this is some wood that they got when they were building the shed or the workshop. They have it here covered. This is the road to get to civilization. And then our neighbors over there. We also have a neighbor over there and a neighbor next door. Because there are all these trees, you don't really see them. And I think most people here use these cabins as their weekend cabins, so sometimes it's really quiet. Sometimes we can hear like kids playing next door, but it doesn't really bother us. Oh, and my father-in-law said that there's 2 potential Christmas trees on our lot that we can have for Christmas. I wonder if that's one of them. It's a lot of work to keep up with a place like this. And it's great that we have so many family members to pitch in and help. We actually don't do a lot of work here because we don't come here that often, and we have 2 small kids and it's hard to get anything done with them here. But we clean sometimes inside. But a lot of the yard work and gardening is mostly done by the other 2 families because they live much closer. Oh, over here, the trampoline we put up during the summertime. And then we also have a hammock that goes over there on that tree. And then we also have a greenhouse that we put up during the summertime. And I'm just gonna walk over here because I think our compost is here somewhere. Yeah, that green bin over there is our compost. Ooh, lots of leaves. Cool. So yeah, this is a tour of our cabin. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so thankful that we have this to come to once in a while. Our kids always ask to come here because it's a nice change in scenery from where we live. All right, so that's a tour of our family's cottage. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.